G'day everyone. In the current fitness landscape, there's one constant that remains, and that's our ability to get out and go for a run. Now, whether you're a first-time runner or you've had a lengthy layoff from running, that sudden change getting back into running can introduce undue stress on the body and increase your risk of injury. So what I'm going to do today is go through a few guidelines that we suggest will help you get to a smooth and safe transition back into your running. And the first point is to start gradually. We suggest that you start with some longer walks and intersperse 30-second jogs into these walks. Over time, we can increase the amount of time we're jogging for and reduce the time that we're walking for. Number two, we need to avoid sudden changes in your program. So we know there's specific factors that can lead to increased stress on the body. Now, some of these factors can be running distance, running speed or intensity, so if you start some interval type running, or running frequency, so if you start to increase the amount of times per week that you're actually running on legs. If you're progressing your footwear from sort of a high control shoe in towards a minimalist shoe, we know this can place some undue stress on the body. And if you're changing your terrain, so if you decide to start some hill runs, if you're changing your surface, you might be on a softer surface, say an athletics track, you might be on a soft grass surface in this current weather climate, some of the decks can be quite spongy. Or if you decide to go on a trail run, we know the unpredictability of these surfaces can place increased stress on the body. So we advise that you change just one of these variables at a time. Now, point number three, we need to ensure that your body is prepared to run. Okay, so what I like to think about the body when it's running, I like to think of it as a spring. So if you can imagine, if I've got one coil in that spring that is damaged, then that spring's not going to function to its full capacity. Now, a human body example of this is you may have had a past history of a hip injury and you've developed some associated glute deficit or weakness. Now, that part of the spring is not functioning effectively, and it might transfer load further down the chain towards the knee, overloading the knee, and you get some kneecap pain. And the fourth point is we need to ensure adequate recovery. We recommend that you have 1 to 2 days in between your runs to ensure that your body tissues can adapt to that previous run and heal. We need to ensure that we are getting enough sleep. So on average, about 8 hours a night is great. Some people need a little more, some people need a little less. Ensure that you're staying well hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. And ensure that you have a nice balanced diet with nutrient-rich foods to put back into your body what you're pushing out when you're completing your running program. So from here, we suggest that you book an appointment with Errol Street for a rehab assessment where we can identify deficits in any of these areas and we can act accordingly. And whether you're training for a 5K run or you're training for a marathon, we can help you achieve your running goals here at Errol Street.